Hello guys, today we are going to discuss an interview question which is asked by Meta in January 2024. This is the question is based upon the active participation of the users on Spotify. So we are going to solve this question and this question is available on Strata Scratch platform. So let's discuss the question first. So the question is we need to find out the active users based on the following criteria. We need to find out the active user based on the following criteria. First is last active date. The user must have interacted with Spotify within the last 30 days. So this is the 1 point. Second, the user must have engaged with Spotify for at least 5 sessions. That is the second point. Third is the user must have spent at least 10 hours listening on Spotify. So these are the three main conditions which we need to focus to find out who are the active users on Spotify. Now, how do we calculate the active user penetration rate? So this is the formula is given here. We need to calculate the number of active Spotify users in the country divided by the total users in the country. Means we have the data set which consists of number of countries and the number of users. We need to identify the active users, number of active users in each country, right? And our output should contain country and the active user penetration rate rounded to 2 decimals, right? Now let's assume the current date is this. Okay, so they have also given us the current date, that is 31st January 2024. So we need to find out the users who have interacted with Spotify within the last 30 days. Current date is this. We need to find out the interaction of users within the last 30 days. Right? So first of all, we need to satisfy these three conditions. Then after that, we are going to find out the active users in each country. How do we find out? In each country by using the group by keyword. Similarly, for the total number of users means all the people who are living in the country, means all the active and non-active users. We need to find out in each country, right? Then after that, you are able to find out the active user penetration rate by using this formula. Okay, so we are going to solve this question with the help of Python programming language. Okay, so this question is available on Strata Scratch. So I'm going to show you that screen so we are able to write the code over there. So this is the question, right, which we have discussed. Now I am going to write the code. Okay, kindly understand what I am going to write and I will explain you each line. First of all, we are going to import the libraries. Now, libraries, what do we need? First of all, pandas. Pandas is a library which is used for the data manipulation in Python. So I'm going to import pandas as field. Now I'm going to do the calculations also. For calculation purposes, I'm going to use the NumPy library. So import NumPy as NP. Now, in this question, we are also dealing with the dates, right? So for the dates, which library is used? That is datetime. So we are going to import datetime. time. From date time, we are going to import date time and also the time delta. Now, why time delta? Date time is used for the specific date or day, right? But time delta is used for the duration. For example, here we need to calculate the date of the last 30 days from the current date, right? In that case, that is the duration. So for the duration, we are using the time delta library. Okay. Now, first of all, the table, the data set is known as penetration analysis, right? First of all, we are taking one variable df, and I'm going to write penetration analysis and put in this variable penetration underscore analysis, right? Now I want to see the data set, first 5 rows. So how do I see the first 5 rows? By using the head function df dot head. So now you are able to see the data set. User ID is present, country, last active date, listening hours, and sessions. So these are the columns are present. Okay. So what are the 3 conditions? You just remember the 3 conditions. Last active date, sessions, listening hours. Okay. But the current fixed date is given, that is 31st January. Okay. Now I'm going to write the fixed date, that is by using the date time. Now the within 30 days, within 30 days means it's last within 30 days. So we are going to calculate the date also, right? So last 30 days. So how do we calculate the date from the current date? We are going to take the current date minus the duration of last 30 days to calculate the particular date of starting the session, right? Fixed date, then minus time delta, because we are going to pass the duration, that is days equal to 30, right? It will change as date, right? Now let's see what will be the output the last 30 days. So we got the date, that is 1st January 2024. Okay. Now we are going to see which are the active users. Okay. So how do we see that thing? Now we are going to use a boolean here. So boolean is used if that particular user is active, then it gives you a true value. If it is non-active, then it will give you false, right? So I'm going to create one more column, that is active. Right? Now, the first condition is, that is, the user must have interacted with Spotify within the last 30 days. Right? Now, what we are going to write over here, last active date, the column. Let's see the column name over here. It is also given. Don't make mistake. That is last active date. Last active date. Okay. Dot. We're going to convert it into date. Date minus. No, we have already calculated the last 30 days. Now this date either is greater than or equal to. If it is greater, then it is also okay. If it is equal, it is also okay. So, greater than or equal to which date? Last 30 days. Okay. Break it. Now the next condition is, you need to check out the sessions. Sessions must have at least 5. At least 5 means either equal to or greater than 5. Either equal to or greater than 5. So this is also in a AND condition, because we need to satisfy all the 3 conditions. Right? So we are going to put here AND. So DF sessions is greater than or equal to 5. Right? Now the next condition is listening hours. Listening hours is at least 10 hours. Means either greater than or equal to 10. Greater than or equal to 10. Right? Now let's see this output first. Now let's see the output. So this is the output. Okay. So we have created one more column, that is active, which gives you the value in Boolean, that is true and false. So active users are denoted as true, non-active users are denoted as false. Now, the next is, we need to calculate the penetration rate. So how do we calculate the penetration rate? By dividing the number of active users in the country upon the total number of users in the country. Means we need to calculate country wise. So how do we calculate the active users country wise? By using the group by key. Now let's calculate the number of users, active users in each country. Let's take a variable active users, df dot group by. Now group by with respect to country. Now is active. Now we want to sum only those users who are active, means the value is true. Okay. So we are going to use the function sum. Sum will calculate only the values which are true. Okay. Now we are going to reset the index. Reset underscore index. Now let's see the output. So these are the active users in each country. Okay. Now, what do we need to find out next? The total number of users means the total of active and non-active users. Users. Again, we are going to use the group by keyword with respect to country. This is the user ID, because we need to calculate the whole users. Dot count. Now I'm just going to reset the index. Now let's see the output of users also. So these are the total users with respect to each country. Now what we have two data frames. One is active for active users and another is for users. Now what we are going to do, we are going to join these two data frames with respect to the country, right? How do we join the two data frames? With the help of the merge function, which is available in the pandas library, right? So I'm going to take one more variable, that is res. So pd dot merge. PD refers to pandas library, right? Merge users, comma, active users. Now, in which condition? On equal to country. Now, let's see the output of RES. So, this is the output. Country user ID is active. Is active refers to the number of active users. User ID refers to the total number of users. Right? Now, I am going to make one more column because we need to calculate the active user penetration rate. So, active rate, right? Then how do we calculate? By dividing the number of active users, that is active, divided by user ID, which consists of the total number of users. Right? Now the output, the active user penetration rate rounded to 2 decimals. So we are going to use a round function over here. Let's use the round function, round. So what we want, up to only 2 decimals. Right? Now let's see the output first. Let's run the code. So we have the active rate, which is rounded with 2 decimal places. Okay. Now what do we want? We want the output should contain only the country and active user penetration rate. So we are going to print only the country and the active rate. So how do we do? We are going to use the double square brackets. So what do we want? Country first. Then after that, the active user penetration rate, which is named as active rate. Okay. Now let's see the output. So this is our final output. So I hope it is clear to you. If you have any doubts, kindly comment. Okay. I'm really happy to see your doubts, and I am. So thank you very much.